Hey allihopa, hi everyone and welcome back to another episode of Say It In Swedish. I'm your host, Joachim, as always, and today we are not gonna say it in Swedish, we're gonna learn about Sweden. Or Swedish culture, maybe, I don't know. We're gonna react to young Wallander on Netflix. And hopefully, Netflix, if you're watching, you'll see this as free real estate and not block this video, because I think might be a few things to learn here in this video. We Swedes, we are not used to having stuff about Sweden or taking place in Sweden, but being in English, right? It's something that Germans are very used to, obviously because of all the World War II movies in English with American actors playing Germans. Right, but we are not used to that in Sweden. We're gonna jump right into this and see if there are some things to comment on. All right, here we go. Let's stop it right there. This is your typical American movie police scanner sound. Like this woman has been in a lot of movies. I mean, it's in every crime show and every crime movie. It's like the Wilhelm scream of police scanners, right? And to me, I mean, it's super out of place in this series because this is supposed to be Sweden, not America. And this is not a part of the dialogue, so they should have, to set the scene, they should have not gone with this classical sound effect. Yeah. Minus points immediately.
Use of explosives in Malmo is now at a level that's unique for a state not at war. Explosions, shootings, warring criminal gangs.
Continuous injections for the right wing.
This is so weird. At least that siren is Swedish siren.
Look, the game isn't finished yet, Mum.
I've only ever seen that in movies or heard that in movies, that people are just yelling out into the vicinity that someone should kill an alarm, like, turn it off! I mean, it's an alarm, right? It's there for a reason, obviously. We have a fire here. Do people really do that?
I'm Detective Frida Rask. It's one hell of a morning. You doing okay?
I mean, they don't live in a big city. Wouldn't he know who she is?
So, you live in Rosengard.
Alright, so he does live in Malmö in this series. So Rosengård, or Rosengard, it's a suburb to Malmö, but in the original Wallander, when he's an adult, he lives in Ystad.
Interesting.
No one that knew I was police. Until today. Was it known to the police?
It's him.
And at least here, the police radio sound is also legit Swedish.
Not. He was involved in an altercation with one of the estate residents earlier in the evening.
Maybe not now, yeah, Fred?
Alright, fine. At least they caught the piece of shit.
Caught who?
They just arrested someone.
Who's called Fred in Sweden?
I've asked him to come here in case you have any questions. Kurt, this is Birgitta and Rickard Lundgren. Hugo's parents.
And this is why I cannot watch stuff like this, right? It's fine, it's in English, the scenes are in Sweden, that's like, it kind of works for me, but not when they can't pronounce the names. Obviously, they have to anglify the names, right? But it just doesn't work for me. It's a bit weird, though, that this is now, right? They took a character and put him as a young officer here now, but he is also a detective, an older man, also in another city, but also in this time, right? So it's weird how fiction works.
Which comes on the heels of the death of Hugo Lundgren.
Okay, that's not a real TV channel. It's something that is pretty uncommon for us Swedes, because most Swedish movies and TV shows, they do have, when you see the news, it's from a real TV station, right? But mostly these TV stations have like something to do with the movie, like they have founded it somehow so that they can air it later. So that makes sense, but it's I'd say very uncommon for us to see a movie or a TV show with news from the TV, or like showing the TV but without a Swedish real TV channel, all right?
A murder that shook the city.
Who has a washing machine in the kitchen? That feels super foreign to me. I've only seen that in like British movies, to be honest. In Sweden, in an apartment building, we usually have a laundry room in the basement. If you have a washing machine, you have it in your bathroom. I think I've only seen it once being in the kitchen, and that was at a summer house with, you know, very limited space. But other than that, this feels super foreign.
Will the horrific nature of Hugo Lundgren's murder be a tipping point in
Hugo Lundgren. There we
public
go.
opinion of migration and
Fix
asylum
it.
policies?
Oh, right there. That's you can see it now, but that's a German window. For me, that's a German window. That looks totally un-Swedish. Okay, here we go. Here we have the windows I would expect. Obviously, we have windows that aren't like two windows in one. And then here we have the three windows kind of window on the balcony. But firstly, this doesn't look like you would have the kitchen. It's just weird. Why would you have a kitchen with a window and not a door out in front of it? That just doesn't add up. Here are the windows I would expect, like wood, not renovated. But here we have windows that have been switched out. So, I mean, I just wouldn't have expected that kind of window, but they probably exist.
Anyone can park here anytime.
But they don't. It's kind of an unwritten rule. The same residents park in the same spaces every day. I can name every car around.
Sweden is full of
This one I've
unwritten
never seen
rules.
before, not until the night of the murder.
So whose place is this? We can't just... There are procedures in place, sir.
And?
Let's discuss this back at the station.
What's to discuss?
Also, this is not how we would speak in Sweden. Here, the language, English, dictates how they speak to each other, which is weird. It's a bit weird. Like, he is the superior here, I guess, and she says sir, but we would not do that in Sweden. So that's also pretty weird. The language dictates the culture here, but that it's a bit of a clash, right? It's a bit of a clash, the culture and the language, because here we have British culture clashing with Swedish culture just because of the language. It's interesting. It's interesting to see how they have solved stuff like this, but here I reacted, at least.
Kurt.
Hope I'm not too late. You monster. Can I get a high five? High.
Hey.
She loves me, really.
There he is. Get in it.
Is my dad's Brenvin?
Brännvin! We have some Brännvin in the house. Oh, come on. Brännvin. He could have, I mean, he's Swedish. He could have said it properly, right? Also, I think spontaneously we would just say snaps. This is snaps for you. Here you go. It's also something we don't normally just... if we go to someone's house, we normally bring a bottle of wine or something. There we have it again, the American radio. I wonder what... Please, let me know in the comments down below if you know what they are really saying there. But it's probably gibberish. And totally unrelated to everything. That's at least a nice touch that the signs are in Swedish and they do also make sense for the context. Normally we don't send like 5 police officers for a job like this. So there we have it, the very first episode of young Wallander, as they say. Not Wallander, not Wallander, but Wallander. Interesting. And they are walking very fine, thin line here between fiction and Sweden. But it's interesting and well made enough for me to want to continue watching, although it's a bit weird for me as a Swede. But I will probably watch the whole season and then make a concluding video, like everything wrong with young Wallander. We will see. We will see if I will do that. Hopefully you will find something in this video useful for you. And if you want to learn Swedish, you can do that on sayitinswedish.com, of course, as always. There I have free lessons and other content for you for learning Swedish. If you want to talk to me, you can do that on my Discord server. And if you want to support this project, you can do that on Patreon. All the links are in the description down below. And we will see each other in the next video. Okay, ha det bra. Vi ses. Hej då!